All right, guys, so we've talked quite a bit about Pete Hegseth. He wants to be the defense secretary. Trump literally picked him because he's on TV. Trump likes Fox News. He watches Fox News all the time. And, I mean, how many people who have been on TV has he picked? How many Fox News hosts, Fox Business hosts, CNBC hosts, Larry Kudlow, CNBC host, he had him as a close advisor the last time. I mean, the guy's a simpleton, right? He think, oh, they're on TV. They must know something. They must know stuff. Let's go with them. So he picks Pete Hegseth. Pete Hegseth is particularly dumb. This is a guy who doesn't believe in germ theory. He said that live in front of the world when he was on TV. This is a guy who has some genuinely terrifying political beliefs. He argued that a preemptive strike on North Korea is a good thing. He got into politics by being a pro-Iraq war activist, which, by the way, is quite a thing for quite a person for Trump to pick, given Trump pretended like he was against the Iraq war. Okay, then why are you surrounding yourself with these neocons who were wrong every step of the way? And they're going to be wrong again the next time a war comes up, like with Iran, for example. Trump's already wrong about that, and Hegseth is already wrong about that. So, I mean, the guy is, he's a mess, right? He's a mess. He's a warmonger, and he's also genuinely stupid. So I tell you all that to show you this story. Ready? Pete Hegseth falsely claimed Antifa was behind January 6th, but also condemned the pearl-clutching response to the riot. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth simultaneously blamed far-left groups for the events of January 6th and justified Trump supporters' actions in the days following the riot. So this was found by CNN's K-File. This was a conversation that Hegseth had with Newt Gingrich 4 days after January 6th. So on January 10th, he had this conversation. And guys, it was literally in the same conversation, minutes apart, or even maybe seconds apart. He explains how, bro, this wasn't even the Trump supporters that did it. This wasn't MAGA. MAGA are good people. MAGA are nonviolent people, bro. I don't even know what you're talking about. This was obviously Antifa. This was far-left groups, and they're violent, and they're terrorists, and they're bad, and they brought chaos, and it was horrible. But also, yeah, MAGA did it, but it was actually kind of based, and it was good that they did it. Oh, my God. Guys, I used to do this as a bit. To make fun of the far right, where you literally say back to back, like, it was Antifa. Antifa did it, and they're terrible and bad and wrong, and they need to be locked up, and they're terrorists, and they're evil. But also, MAGA did it, and it was actually totally justified because the election was stolen, and they were trying to set the record straight. Okay. You have to pick one of those arguments. You cannot pick both of those arguments. How did they not get that? Oh, my God. Oh, my God. It's like, you've seen this too in online media. There will be people who criticize Democrats from their left, and then they could get like a right-wing audience that follows them. And it's like the right-wing audience either doesn't know or doesn't care that the criticism is coming from the left of the Democrat because they just like that somebody's criticizing the Democrat. And so like they'll enjoy these criticisms when it's like, the person who you like because they're criticizing Democrats is like arguing for socialism. And then in the next breath, they'll be like, well, I hate socialism. It's evil. It's the devil. But I love this socialist commentator because they're shitting on Democrats. And since they're shitting on Democrats, I don't care about the content or the specifics. I just care that you're shitting on Democrats. It's the same thing here, right? Quote, there are reports, in the New York Post and elsewhere, and just from, common sense, that Antifa folks took advantage of this to try to get to the front and try to agitate and create openings for themselves. They, Antifa, want chaos, ultimately. I could even spot it. You can see the helmets where there's a Donald Trump bumper sticker on the back, quickly put on it so they could look like they wanted to stop the steal. But what they really wanted to do was further the narrative. He continued, quote, the mindset of these people was not overtly radical. It wasn't violent at all. In fact, if you break down the timeline, Newt, much of what was happening on Capitol Hill, the first incursions break through the barricades, happened while Donald Trump was still speaking. Hegseth didn't like the knee-jerk, pearl-clutching response across the spectrum. You were just doing the pearl-clutching when you thought it was Antifa. I talked to the people on the mall. I've talked to them a lot. Listen, they believe the election was stolen. They wish There were more recourses. They've watched what happens. They've seen stories be suppressed before, like Hunter Biden. Bro, this was evil and wrong and Antifa did it. But also, it was actually great and cool and they weren't violent and it makes sense that they did it. I'm sorry, but like, this is the mark of an idiot, right? Like, this is the mark of an idiot. You can't contradict yourself within the same fucking argument. You can't do it. You can't do it. But it's just throw mud against the wall and hope something sticks. It's like, they were like shopping which narrative is the one that they're ultimately going to land on. Are they going to blame it all on Antifa and say it was bad? Or are they going to say it was Trump supporters and it was based? Or are they going to say, no, it was bad again, but it was the feds who did it? Like, I don't know how I'm supposed to take these people seriously. I don't know how, like, you just got to say it like it is. Some people are too far gone. You're not going to convince some people. You're not going to convince Pete Hegseth. He's not going to start making sense. He's not going to stop being an idiot. And this is a guy who Trump wants for defense secretary. Defense secretary. Remember, there was a big deal made about, like, his tattoos, and J.D. Vance was like, yeah, how dare you attack somebody for having Christian tattoos? This is anti-Christian bigotry. Well, come to find out the tattoo was like a tattoo for the Crusades. It's a little misleading to say, oh, it's just a Christian tattoo. No, it's not just a Christian tattoo. It's a tattoo for the Crusades. And this is a guy who was caught in a bar drunk chanting, kill all Muslims, kill all Muslims. Also, by the way, people accuse him of having a genuine drinking problem. And you want to know his reaction was? I promise, if you pick me to be defense secretary, I won't have another drink. What? That's like classic alcoholic would say this sort of shit. Oh my God. What are we gonna do? This is who we picked. This is who we picked for defense secretary, bro. For defense secretary. We thought everything in the first administration was bad, and it was, right? We had the Mike Pompeos and the Gina Haspels and the John Boltons and neocon psychopaths all around him. Warmonger after warmonger. Well, this time it's the same, except perhaps the warmongers are even dumber. People like Pete Hegseth. So, buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop. And watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.